Las Vegas. I'm going to be having amazing speakers from all over the world. I mean it, all over the world. I have people coming all the way from Australia, from Africa, from China, in the United States. It's going to blow your mind. You want to take action, you can get all these tickets, sign up. You know, there are different, tiers of tickets. So don't say, oh, I don't have 10,000. There are tickets of as low as $4.99. Just find your way into the room, okay? Stop giving excuses. Build your network. Build the people that you want to work with. Your network, they say, determines your net worth. You want to get into the room and meet some amazing people that are going to show you how you can take your life to the next level. So join us in the conference. Go sign up. Don't wait till the last minute. You got to take action. For you to be successful, you have to be intentional. You have to know what you want, and you got to go get it, okay? And that is what I did many, many years ago. I took action, and here I am talking to you. So don't forget the dates, 5th of March, 30th of March, and of course, September 22nd to September 24th, conference in Las Vegas. It's amazing. So let me know where you're joining me from, okay? Get on the chat, take action, and let me know. And also in the month of March, I'm going to be starting our tour. I'm going to be starting our tour all over the United States. As you know, I'm going to be in 30 cities for 6 months, traveling, going all over the United States, helping you build your goals, helping you build your dreams. I don't want to sit down where I am. I want to come to you. So make yourself available. In the month of March, I'm going to be out here in Milwaukee. We're going to have another session in Chicago. We're going to be in Minnesota. We're going to be in Ohio. We're also going to be in Cincinnati, Ohio. And of course, we're going to be in other places all over the United States. Take advantage of these things. You want to be intentional when you are taking action to build your life. I cannot do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. Does real estate investing takes a lot of money to start? Actually, no. I started my real estate business with $997. Again, like I said, for you to be able to become successful, the first thing you need to do is have knowledge. Okay? And I say this all the time. I know a lot of people have problem with Grant Cardone, but people affect people in different ways. In 2017, 2018, I saw Grant Cardone and I paid $997 just to get the knowledge. And that's what I'm talking about, knowledge flow. The moment I got the knowledge, like I always say, life is monkey see, monkey do. The moment I got the knowledge and I got to know what these guys were doing, all I had to do was copy what they were doing and started doing it in Wisconsin. So what did I do? I got the knowledge and I started doing wholesaling of properties. What is wholesaling? I got out there, I get a property on contract and I sell it to another investor who could pay more than I had offered, and I took the difference for myself. And as I started building funds from that, I started doing what we call fix and flip. Until this day, I'm still doing fix and flip. I started using the monies that I had to buy cheaper properties. I'll put in the money to fix it, and I will sell it at a higher end, and I will get income. So you don't need a lot of money. You just need monies that you can use to get the knowledge flow. Let's have another question, please.
Marry the house, date the rate.
Marry the house and date the rate. Okay.
Yes.
I love that.
Because
I don't know where they come up with all this thing. These guys that's why I told you they're too intelligent for me to handle.
that is a perfect quote, because even residential or commercial, if especially investors, if this house is going to make you money, you're going to date the rate. The rate is not permanent. The rate can change. So I always inform everybody that I speak to, either residential or commercial, that there is a time that these rates will change, and in between that time, we can go ahead and refinance. So there's lots of options. There's different programs with different, LTV requirements, down payment requirements, things that you need to know that can be beneficial. So if you're working with a lender and they're not informing you on different products and different opportunities, they could be
Yep.
costing you a lot of money, right? The number one thing I always suggest is to have a lender that's going to offer you multiple opportunities, multiple products, multiple programs, right? So you have that choice there. The marry the house, date the rate is just one tiny piece of some of the information that a lender should be offering to these investors.
April 15th, we're going to have the optimize market and sell, how to optimize market and sell with your social media. You want to know how to make money on social media? Sign up.
Take some
It's
time.
as simple as that.
That's it.
You want to know how to make money on social media? All you got to do is what? Sign up. You just got to know how to take action, get out there and sign up. So we're going to be having that. I'm bringing this guy all the way from India. Actually, it's in Sri Lanka, but he's in India. He's going to be there live. I'm bringing another expat who is in Nigeria. She's going to be there, and I'm going to be there to teach you how to sell. We're going to teach you how to market, and it's as low as $199.
I mean,
like, I shouldn't even be putting like this thing on my screen. It's embarrassing, but you know what? Just to tell you that I'm really, 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 really interested in your success this year. I'm putting out programs, pulling people from different continents. Like, you know, you need to go to Senuka's page and see him on social media. This guy's killing it.
oh, I'm sure.
The guy's not for 25.
Nice.
Young chap. He's a guru. Like, he's a computer guru. And I was able to get him on board. You know, you see all those my videos going viral.
Yeah.
He's the one that does it.
Hey.
So yeah. So you know, I'm getting him on board. I have Ibrahim Joseph. That's the guy, graphic guy. He's on screen right now. Ibrahim, how you doing?
He does a nice
All
job.
the way from Nigeria and Africa. So we're bringing all these people together to come out there and just help you put things together. Social media has given me in the last 5 years over $5 million.
How did you start? Now, you just told us you started with $9.99. Was there a particular program you started with? I always tell people, in my case, I started dealing with wholesaling. So just take us through that process. You know, somebody's out there listening, okay, yeah, we know the deals. But you know what I love doing? I like breaking it down so that people can know, this is what I did. This is where, you know, I bought this property. I did a fix and flip. I did a wholesaling. How did you go? How did you progress?
Great question. So I tested out. So here's one deal. I'll just tell you a real life situation, right?
Good.
So there was one house, and this particular real estate investor, he you know, pretty much was investing in these houses pretty much for like the land value, and he was letting people live inside the property, very low rents and everything, kind of like, you know, live here, cover my real estate taxes, but don't call me to fix anything, right? So that particular deal, I negotiated the house for $50,000. Okay, simple 3-bedroom, 1-bath house, $50,000, and I negotiated an $8,000 credit at closing. Okay. So the lender that I went to, I was able to get the lender to do 10% down, right? So financing with 10% down. So 10% of 50 grand, guys, is how much? $5 grand, right?
5,000.
I had a credit of 8,000.
Wow.
Right?
And talking about coaching, we're here. The next training that's coming is the boot camp. It's coming up on the 30th of this month, March, and we're going to be here for 3 days, 30th, 31st, and 1st of April, trying to help you out to build wealth for 2023. And you know what's amazing, guys? It is true that opportunities come every single day. Actually, Monday is an opportunity, Tuesday is an opportunity, Wednesday. But you know what? Great opportunities comes once in a while. I was like, JT, is it okay if I bring you during my bootcamp program? And you know, JT is a very great guy. And he's like, yeah, Joseph, I can come in there. So what we decided to do was we decided to throw JT right into the middle. So the coaching or the boot camp starts on the 30th, but right there on the 31st, JT is going to be flying in all the way from Sydney, Australia.
It's crazy.
And he's going to be coming here. We're going to have a nice time. I just know when you're with JT, there is no dull moment. He's going to be here the whole day, and we're going to end up with a dinner. He's going to have 2-3 hours to coach, to mentor, take questions. Then we're going to go back for that day, 6 to 7 o'clock. We're going to come back in the evening. We have a beautiful
5-star restaurant. We're going to take every single person. We're going to sit down, eat some nice meal, and you're going to be talking to the guy who brought the word and invented the word called the fugu. I'm a rookie. I don't know anything about communication. What are the baby steps that I need to take just to, to start? Is it listening? Okay, I've started listening. How do I get out there? Because, we communicate every single day. Like, you have to communicate. And in this world right now, we're on social media, we're in different platforms, we're talking to people in the house. Your mind is just racing. Like, what are the steps? Like, A, B, C. So somebody who's out there who's going to watch this or who's watching right now. Okay, so I want you to just break it down. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Step number 1, do this. Step number, I just love it like that,
Yep. So we cannot not communicate. That's the first and foremost. When we realize that we cannot not communicate, that means that we're always giving out data points, that we're always giving out information. Even sometimes, guys, I have to tell my face to shut up separately. And I'm not even kidding. But you know what that looks like? Probably not on me, but on someone else that you know.
Yeah.
So we cannot not communicate. In order to communicate, we must be great listeners. And there is what I'm going to teach in class and the steps that I've given you, there's going to be a sequence, but then as you're becoming better, you can change the sequence around. So I'm going to give you the 3 most important things that you need to do. When you listen, you're going to, first of all, have always something to write with and something to write on. I do not go anywhere. And if it's just your phone, the memo tab on your phone where you can take notes. And when you are talking to someone and you are taking notes, either on a notepad, manually or digitally on your phone, you want to ask for permission. Hey, this is great information. I'd love to learn more about you. Do you mind if I take some notes? Because what happens if you just look down on your phone and you start typing on your phone, you're losing connection to the other person. And the other person might assume, well, they're just texting someone or they're not even in the conversation. So you want to be present. You want to take notes and you want to be tuned in to the words that they're saying and how they are saying it. Because when you are tuned in to the words that they're saying and how they are saying it, that will give you data points. There's the knowledge that you just talked about, Joseph, that you can then build in the communication that you're going to use talking to them. I'll give you a really simple example. One of my clients is a hotshot realtor in South Carolina, and he carries a little notebook everywhere with him. And when he meets a new client, which he does every day, he asks for permission. That's hey, do you mind if I take some notes? This is really interesting stuff that you're saying. And then he listens for repetitive phrases or words that that person is using, and he writes them down. And then when he talks back to, or when he talks and not talks back, but when he talks with them, he builds in these words that he's taken note of. And when he repeats them back in a whole sentence, subconsciously, that person realizes that person understands me. That's where the know, like, and trust comes in. That person is relating to how I am speaking, is relating to who I am. So being present, taking notes, and then the third step, putting that back out, putting that in your own communication, in your own words, back to that person. So you build a relationship with them and they feel heard, they feel valued because you relate to them, because you understand them.
I got so excited, I didn't even have time for you to introduce yourself. Like, I'm about the fugu. I like this money. There are people who are out there, they're not true to themselves. Like, oh, I like money. Because when I make a lot of money, I can help a lot of people. Tell me a little bit about yourself and how you've helped such businesses to get to mergers, to build exits, and so on. So just tell me a little bit about your background and let's hear it.
Yeah. So I am, I'm from Australia. I've been here for more than 32 years now. And I started to work in, one of the major companies in Australia, which has like 98% of Queensland this public sector money. So that was quite a few $billion back then. I think they have, not sure how much they have now, maybe 100 billion or something. But basically, I started working in a company straight after many, work as finishing my university degree as Master of Financial Management, and and I got my CPA back then. But don't hold the CPA against me, right? I'm not your typical accountant, as you can see. Yeah, all my working life, I've been working in mergers and acquisitions, corporate finance, buy and sell businesses, and the accounting background gave me a very good insight into the numbers, because every time I'm talking to people, I'm asking about the numbers. I can actually quickly get to it to say, hey, how are you going with your, what is your revenue? What's your expenses? What is your unit economics and those sort of things? And that's what, when people they look at businesses, they look at those things, and they are thinking, well, am I going to be able to take this business and grow it the same way as you were growing in the past, but better? Nobody is buying a business as they were before and trucking along the same way as before.
You are a mentor to so many. Who are some of your mentors? I love that question. So one of my mentors is Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone is what, $6 billion. One thing about a mentor is you have to always make sure your mentor is someone who is doing better than you are in a certain area. Now, I have different mentors. I have mentors that I look up to in my personal life. I have mentors that I look up to in real estate. I have mentors that I look up to in wealth building. Now, in terms of wealth building, my mentor is JT Fox. Very, very lovely man. He's built multi-million-dollar transactions all over the world, has over 45 businesses. So your mentor should be someone who is doing better than you. And I also have Glenn Sten. Glenn Sten is also a multi-millionaire. He was the pioneer of the program, the live program, Undercover Billionaire. So these are the people that I have chosen as my mentors. And, I learn from them because I know that they are successful in their different field. So these and many more, some of them I learn from them through reading their books. But these are the ones that I'm connected to directly. I've met them one-on-one. I've shook their hands. I've looked into their eyes. I've spoken to them, shared the same room, the same platform with them. And that is how you want to get your mentors. And these are some of my mentors that I have.
Amazing. Now, you are in this industry. I mean, a few of us know what insurance is all about. Trust me, with all the knowledge that I have, with all the success, in my own right that I've built, I never knew the kind of, I knew about term insurance, whole life insurance and all that. But, there's some people out there that don't even know about insurance. Tell us a little bit about, what the insurance world is all about, what it does. Then we're going to specifically talk about what I just signed up with you recently.
Yes. So insurance traditionally is known to protect things in case they are lost or broken, right? So car insurance, health insurance, home insurance, right? Now, if you utilize an index universal life insurance policy, this type of life insurance is not focused on the death benefit. It's focused on the tax benefits within insurance. So that's why if you properly structure an index universal life insurance policy, you're going to be able to grow your money, access money, and transfer your money tax-free, because it's designed to take full advantage of the tax benefits within insurance.
Amazing. So let me hit this thing straight. You're live. Is it taxable?
Is it taxable? So when you have your money inside of insurance, what allows it to remain tax-free is keeping your death benefit active. And here's why. The IRS looks at the insurance, looks at the vehicle as an insurance policy. The moment you get rid of your death benefit, it's now a taxable account. So what affluent people do is they make sure that they leave at least 10% so that it could cover the cost of insurance. So by doing so, it could grow and access tax-free.
Why are these things not being taught in school?
You know what? I think money in general is not taught, right? Whether we're talking about credit cards, we're talking about 401ks, we're talking about insurance. I think money in general is not taught. I think it should be. I remember taking a biology class, learning how to dissect a frog, and I've never had to do that in the real world, but I do taxes every year. You got credit cards, you have investments. So I just think overall, finances are not discussed. Now, specifically insurance, I think traditionally individuals only focus on what they know is the stock market, right? And the stock market has its role. It's focused on offense, growing money, but it also has some risk. And I say insurance is focused on defense, which is protecting the money that you've grown. So I just think overall finances should be discussed more in school.
Amazing. So who can actually have this insurance we're talking about? This universal index universal insurance. Who's qualified to have it?
So anybody who qualifies for a death benefit can have it. And here's the age limits: 15 days old. So you could actually get an index universal life policy on your child as long as they're 15 days old, all the way up to the age of 70, 75, depending on the company you go with. It's more favorable the younger you are because it's going to compound more over time. But as long as you're able to get approved through the underwriting process, medically you're in good standing, you'll be able to own a IUL.
You know, when you talk about compound, it's something that people don't understand. But I came to understand compound, like, you know, every single day, if you multiply $1, it's amazing what you're going to get in 10 years. Tell us about the compound side a little bit when you're talking about, you know, getting insurance. And, you know, I also want you to attach it, you know, I'm a businessman, I'm an investor. So if I am doing this, you know, talk about the compound, they talk about how can people, because a lot of my students are in real estate, and I'm sure a lot of them are watching right now, some of them are going to be watching later. How does this affect you if you're in real estate investment?
So compound interest, for those who many have heard of the topic, but what is compound interest? It's your money making money for you, right? You put in $10,000, $100,000, $1,000, and you allow it to grow. The interest on that money now becomes your money, and that starts to grow, right? So if you double a penny for 30 days, you end up with over $1 million. I think it's close to $5 million over the course of 30 days. Right now, there's two types of compound interest. There's interrupted compound interest, and then there's uninterrupted compound interest. So I'll give you one example. Whenever your money is in a vehicle where you can lose it, let's say a 401k is the most common. You put in X amount every month. When the market goes down, the compounding of your money is interrupted.
Correct.
So it needs to play catch up. So the compounding happens slower. Now, here's the benefit of an index universal life insurance policy. It comes with a cap, but it also comes with a floor. The floor is 0. So you will never have a negative year, which means, and this is the exciting part, and it ties to real estate, which means your money is, your compound interest is never interrupted. And because you never have a negative year, it compounds fast because you don't have to catch up. Now you mentioned real estate. Can I mention how it ties into real estate?
Yes, please. That's what I was waiting for, man.
So compound interest you could get in different places, but here's what's unique about the IUL. When I work with a lot of real estate investors, some real estate agents, and whenever you put your money inside of an insurance policy, what's attractive about it is that when you put your money in, it's growing through compound interest. When you go to access it, you could borrow against your policy. And this is the biggest benefit. When you're borrowing against it, it's tax-free.
Amazing.
So I've met with real estate investors that have all of their cash in the bank in between transactions. And it works, but you're missing out on the compounded benefit. So in between transactions, the money in the IUL is still growing. You borrow against it tax, then you pay it back whenever you have you flip the investment.
Amazing. This is just getting, you know, interesting and interesting. So if I wanted to get into this program, what is the minimum contribution that I can make monthly?
So let's say it's a child. Let's say it's child 2 years old, right? I've seen parents do $100 a month for their kids, right? Now here's the rule I give for minimum contribution once you're an adult. If you want to add a 0 to your age. If you're 20 years old, you want to do minimum 200 a month. If you're 40 years old, you want to add a 0, minimum 400 a month. So if you add a 0 to your age, that's the minimum. However, the more you do, the faster it compounds.
Amazing. This is just so amazing. So, what are some of the success stories? People you've actually worked with in the past, and how has this whole thing helped them? I know you've been doing this for 8 years now. Am I correct?
Yes.
Just
Yes,
give us
correct.
1 or 2 scenarios out there.
So I'll give you a couple of examples. One of my first clients, this is nearly 8 years ago. I won't do the math, but nearly 8 years ago, she called me 2 years ago in 2020 when COVID began. And she said, "Hey, David, I see the stock market going down. How much money have I lost?" And I was so proud to be able to say the answer with 100% certainty, 0. That's the benefit of an index universal life insurance policy. When the stock market goes down, every year, whatever you grow gets locked in. Trusting me with her money for the last, at that point, the last 6 years, I was able to share with her, "Hey, you have not lost any money. You'll flatline this year. You won't make any growth. But when the market starts to come back up, you're going to grow from there." So that's an example of how I've been able to help a couple clients protect what they have.
April 15th, we're going to have the optimize market and sell, how to optimize market and sell with your social media. You want to know how to make money on social media? Sign up.
Take some time.
As simple as that.
That's it.
You want to know how to make money on social media? All you got to do is what? Sign up. You just got to know how to take action, get out there and sign up. So we're going to be having that. I'm bringing this guy all the way from India. Actually, he's in Sri Lanka, but he's in India. He's going to be there live. I'm bringing another expert who is in Nigeria. She's going to be there, and I'm going to be there to teach you how to sell. We're going to teach you how to market, and it's as low as $199.
I mean,
like, I shouldn't even be putting like this thing on my screen. It's embarrassing. But you know what? Just to tell you that I'm really, 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 really interested in your success this year. I'm putting out programs, pulling people from different continents. Like, you need to go to Senuka's page and see him on social media. This guy's killing it.
oh, I'm sure.
The guy's not up to 25.
Nice.
Young chap. He's a guru. Like, he's a computer guru. And I was able to get him on board. You see all those my videos going viral?
Yeah.
He's the one that does it.
Hey.
So, yeah. So, I'm getting him on board. I have Ibrahim Joseph. That's the guy, graphic guy. He's on screen right now. Ibrahim, how you doing?
He does a nice
All
job.
the way from Nigeria and Africa. So we're bringing all these people together to come out there and just help you put things together. Social media has given me in the last 5 years over $5 million.
I used to be a people's guy. Like, I know how to network. I know how to, like marketing side. I know how to walk into the room and make sure you sign the check. But I wasn't a numbers guy till I saw like 5 years ago when I needed to understand. I came to a point where I had to understand that it's the numbers that matter. For somebody like me in the past, somebody in my shoes right now who is not good with numbers, how do you think they can build their business?
Well, I think if you're not really good at numbers, you need to surround yourself with people who are good at numbers. Because everything doesn't matter if you're building relationships, that converts to numbers in the end, right? You're building relationships with someone who's actually, really good in doing their thing. But ultimately, if that, you get someone to work for you, if they are able to, deliver on what they promise, they can, if you bring them in as someone who's generating revenue, are they generating enough revenue for you? What are they doing to generate more revenue? So that's all numbers as well, right? With the numbers, but are they generating profitable revenue for you? They could be generating huge amount of revenue, but it costs more to deliver that revenue, then that's not good, right? You don't want to be delivering revenue, but then costing more to deliver it. You are in a loss. But the technology companies is very different nowadays. There's technology companies that are not generating profit, but are still valued at billions and billions of dollars. But the reason for that is actually people are looking at their future and think that in the future they're going to generate a lot more revenue. And that's all. It's all about investing into the future for technology companies. Yeah, but
Amazing.
for traditional
So
companies, you always look at the history. Yeah.
amazing. But I wanted to balance it up and help us to see how communication helps different people in different status.
So communicate. People ask me, Brigitte, who do you train? Who do you teach? Well, anyone that has eyes, ears, and a mouth, because communication is not just the words that we use. It's most and the biggest piece of our communication is our nonverbal, our body language. So if you remember the 6 steps that I went through, and I'm not going to go through them again. We're going to go much deeper into it when we see each other in person. But if you don't know what your outcome is, so if you're working for a team, if you're working with a team, or if you're working for a boss, or you are a leader in an organization, or you are an entrepreneur, but you don't know what you want at the end and how you're making that a win-win-win, a win for you, a win for the other person, and a win for your company or their family or your community, or whatever the greater win is, if you don't know that outcome, you're not going to be specific and intentional in how you come across, how you build that relationship, which words are you using, and which words are you listening for. And it's not just the words that we're listening for, it's the tonality that we're listening for. It's I call it the having sensory acuity. And the sensory acuity is basically listening with all of your senses. So we can listen with our eyes, we can listen with our sense of touch, of how we feel about something. We can listen with our emotions. We can listen on a deeper level, but we don't even know that exists. Some of you might know subconsciously. And then in the next step, on the flip side of how you are expressing what you are listening for, what you have observed, what you are in tune with, if you don't know how to bring that back out and communicate that to your team, to your boss, to your staff, to your employees, to your customer, then you're not going to make a deal.